Good morning, girls. Hope you all remember what we have studied in the first module. So what did we study? We studied about the e-commerce, what is e-commerce and what is the difference between e-commerce and e-business. Then what else we have seen? And we have seen e-marketing, what is internet market and what is e-tailing, what are the benefits and limitations of the e-business. So now you are very much known about what is e-business, okay, and you know the difference between what is e-commerce and e-business. Okay, so you have to first thing, before we could go to the second module, first thing you have to revise the first unit. Okay, just go through all the topics of the first unit. So the test will be in the first unit only. So weekend test will be there, no? So I will ask all the 2 marks from the first unit. So you revise the first unit and complete all your notes. Okay, don't say I have not completed the first part and second part, I have doubt this and that. I don't entertain any of the excuses. Okay, is it clear for you? So you have to revise the first unit and you have to study all the 2 marks in the first unit. So I am not going to give you the 2 marks. You are going to find the 2 marks and study, and I will give you the questions for the weekend test. Understood? Okay, shall we proceed to the second module? Okay. So the second module is e-marketplaces, structures, mechanisms, economics and impacts. And we have different learning objectives of the second module. So you can go through the objectives of the second module. Okay. So when we study each topics, we will fulfill the objectives of the each module. Just go through it as I am scrolling. Go through the objectives of the second module. Okay. So the first topic we are going to see in the second module is e-marketplaces. Okay, here it is given only market. So wherever it is mentioned market, you have to understand that it is a e-market. Okay, so because of that only they have given it in the brackets, electronic or otherwise. So e-markets have 3 main functions. Okay, every e-market has 3 main functions. So e-market, internet market, everything same. Did you go through the notes of the internet market? So you have different ways of calling the e-market or internet market. Okay, so what are the 3 main functions of this e-market? First one, matching buyers and sellers. Okay, so we should have equal numbers of buyers and sellers. Okay, if the sellers are more and buyers are less, we will be having a much loss. Okay, if the buyers are more and sellers are less, means then we will face the limitations. Okay, we need more buyers, equal number of buyers and equal number of sellers. So the second main functions of the e-market is facilitating the exchange of information, goods, services and payments associated with market transactions. Okay, so we should create a conducive climate for exchange of information. What do you mean by exchange of information here? It is the information about your product. If you are a seller or a buyer, you should give a information, correct information about your products, goods and services, and you should also let your customer know how to pay your products. Okay, so the way of transaction also should be mentioned clearly. That is the main function of the e-market, the second main function of the e-market. Okay, shall we go to the third main function? So the third main function of the e-market is providing an institutional infrastructure such as a legal and regulatory framework which enables the efficient functioning of the market. Okay, so e-business means not only selling and buying goods. We know that it is the existence of the business in the internet. Okay, so it is the existence of the business. What do you mean by existence of the business? I am repeating it again and again. So it is not only buying and selling. So the overall infrastructure of the company, the personal employee details, okay, the transaction details, the auditing, so how to maintain different departments and the functions of the different departments, how to calculate the profit and loss. So everything comes under the business environment. Okay, so all this should be taken into care in a e-business. So providing an institutional infrastructure. So what type of infrastructure your e-business going to have? So what can it be? So it can be a regulatory framework. It should have a regular framework which enables the efficient functioning of the market. So your structure of the business and your infrastructure of your business should enable efficient functioning of the market. Okay, this is also very important. So now you may be clear about the three main functions of the e-market, that is matching buyers and sellers, facilitating the exchange of information, providing an institutional infrastructure. Okay, is it clear for you girls? Okay, shall we go to the next topic, that is e-marketplaces, electronic marketplaces. So within bracket it is given e-marketplaces or market spaces. Okay, so it changed several of process into trading and supply chain. So what do you mean by supply chain? Supply chain of any business is production, selling, okay, again calculating profit and loss, again production, selling. So this is the supply chain of any business. Okay, this e-market changes several process of this supply chain, trading and supply chain. Okay, so shall we see what are the changes it has made in the trading and supply chain of a business? The first one is greater information richness. So we could get much information about any product over the net. Okay, so if you want to buy any product, just go through the net, you can browse through the net and you can get enough of information about any type of product. So that is called greater information richness. Then lower information search cost for buyers. So we need not spend a lot to search for a particular product. So everything at your fingertip, just you type, okay, you will get the information about the particular product. And the third one is diminished information asymmetry between seller and buyer. So there is no difference. For some business there may be a huge number of sellers and less number of buyers. For some other business there may be huge number of buyers and less number of sellers. But whereas in e-market there will be a equal number of sellers and buyers. Next one, greater temporal separations between time of purchase and time of possessions. Okay, what do you mean by temporal separations? So the time limit. So there is no time limit. Okay, under 24/7 at any time you can buy your product or you can sell your products. Okay, so there is no time for selling and buying over the internet. Next one, greater temporal proximity between time of purchase and time of possessions. So it repeats same thing only. So it has repeated. So you just cut off one. Ability of buyers and sellers to be in different locations. Okay, so if the buyers and sellers are in ordinary traditional market, if the buyers and sellers are at the different locations, so there they may face lot of difficulties. So the seller has to spend a lot to market and advertise their product. They have to spend a lot to reach to the customers, whereas here we don't have such a type of complexities. The buyers and sellers don't have any space in between them. They don't have different locations. So wherever the customers are, the sellers can go and sell their products. So there is no space limit between the buyer and the seller. Okay, so market space or marketplace in which sellers and buyers, okay, do so electronically. So they exchange goods and services for money electronically. So that is called market space. So marketplace and market spaces have similar meaning. Okay, now do you understand the changes that the e-market places have in the trading and supply chain? Okay. So now we are going to see market space components. What are the different types of components of the market space or marketplace? Okay, marketplace and market space has the similar meaning. So we are going to see the components of the e-marketplaces or e-market spaces. Okay, so now we'll see the different components. First one customer, second one seller, third one products and services, fourth one infrastructure, fifth one other business partners, sixth one support services. These are the components of the e-market spaces or e-market places. Okay, so now we know what is the customer. So the important component, the first and foremost important component is the customer. To sell any of your product, you should have customer. If no one to buy your products, then your product will be a failure. Just you have to close down your business and sit at home. Okay, so the important component of any business, and here also in e-market, e-business is customer. Next one is seller. So we need different types of people to advertise and market their products over the net. Then only we'll create a business over the net. Next one, product and services. Okay, so there are different types of products. Every product and services are kept digitally over the net. So these products are called digital products, goods that can be transformed into digital format and delivered over the internet. So we see all the products digitally, we don't touch and see them physically. So because of that, all these products are called digital products. I hope you understand. Okay, so everything is very easy for you to understand, you know it all. Okay, so you see it every day. Okay, so it's very easy for you to understand. So next component is infrastructure. Okay, so infrastructure, so there are different types of infrastructure. Here they are giving front end and back end. So it is very important for the e-marketplaces, front end, back end and intermediary. Okay, intermediary, these three are the important infrastructure for a market space component. So what is front end? The portion of an e-seller's business processes through which customer interacts, including the seller portals, electronic catalogs, a shopping cart, a search engine and a payment gateway. Okay, so the website you use, okay, for the customer to view your products. Okay, so what will you do? So your website should be interactive for the customer. Okay, it should tell about the seller, so seller's portal, and it should have an electronic catalog, so it should have variety of products that the customer can select from your products. A shopping cart, so if they select a product, it has to be kept in a cart for delivery. A search engine, if they are not satisfied with the product, currently given product, they have to search for other products as they wish. And the payment gateway, how to pay for the products. So all these are combined together to form the front end of a e-market component, market space component. Okay, do you clear? Have you understood about the front end of the market space component? Okay, shall we go to the next one, that is back end, the activities that support online order taking. It includes fulfillment, inventory management, purchasing from suppliers, payment processing, packaging and delivery. So whatever you do as a customer, suppose you are placing an order for buying a product in Flipkart, Amazon, any of a teleshop, any of a e-market. Okay, so whatever you do is a front end work. So what the particular concern is doing, Amazon or Flipkart or whatever concern that you are ordering for. So whatever they do, what will they will do, they'll get your order, they'll place your order for the seller, and they should have an inventory management. What do you mean by inventory management? If they are providing you some 10 products, okay, the inventory has to be corrected. Then purchasing from the supplier to buy the particular product from the supplier, and the payment processing. So you are paying for them electronically and they have to process the payment. So here also their payment also should be accepted on the seller side. Then packaging, so packing your products and delivering to you. So all these are the back end component. Okay, and the next one is intermediary. So the next infrastructure of the component is intermediary. the third party that operates between the seller and the buyer. Okay, so if there may be a intermediary if you need, okay, between seller and buyer, then those people are called intermediary. Okay, so the infrastructure component of the e-market space has front end, back end and intermediary. Understood? Okay, and the next component is other business partners. Okay, so the other business partner means your sister concerns. So that means you sell some sort of products. Okay, so when they come to your websites, you lead the customer to buy some other products, okay, which you supports. So these type of products are called, these products have different websites, and those are called other business partners. And support services. Okay, so you have to support different services. If they come to your websites, they should have a email facility and feedback form, and these are the different services. So different way of paying, so payment. Okay, you should provide the customer different way of e-payment. So all these are support services. So up to this we have seen the components of the e-market space. What are the different components? Customers, sellers, products, services, infrastructure. And in infrastructure we have front end and back end and intermediary, and last one other business partners and support services. Okay, understood?